Okay. From Adelaide, you'd think I'd be used to it. No. Hate it. Okay. Please sit, which many of you are. Thank you. Eastern fashion, which is legs crossed, if that's a possibility. But you've all been here, so it is. Done these wonderful movements with your hips. Please put your left arm out in front with your palm towards the ceiling and put your arm in the crook of your right elbow. So put your left arm in the crook of your right elbow. Have your right arm up a little bit and start sliding your left arm across your crook. Yeah. And back again. So it's a little bit of forwards, not a pure right movement, a little bit of forwards. Soften your hands, nothing to do with your hands, just gently sliding forwards. And of course, you've all done a lot of work on this. For example, the FI practice yesterday was about moving your shoulder blade forwards and back. Find that movement of moving your shoulder blade forwards and back. And then try with your arm there in some sort of comfortable place in your crook, try taking your left hand towards your left shoulder. Left hand towards your left shoulder. And straighten it again. And then your left hand to your right shoulder. And then your left hand to the top of your head, maybe, if not to your forehead or your chin. Back to your left shoulder. Straighten in between and to your right shoulder. And just find how are you organizing this gently. Breathing, soft jaw, soft tongue in your mouth. So the arm that you're moving is your left arm. Try to keep your right arm forwards and supporting without moving. Gently. And take a rest for a moment in sitting. Put your left arm out again, resting it in the right crook of your right elbow. And very gently start turning your left arm around itself. And just feel as you're doing that turning, have your arm more or less straight. And maybe it straightens more in one turn than the other. Feel your breathing. Feel what you need to do around your shoulder blade, your collarbone, and sense the movement in your shoulder. Pay attention to your breathing, that your eyes are soft. And just feel this turning. And how can you use your upper ribs with your arm? Your left arm is more or less straight. I don't mean rigid, but I mean not so bent as bent, if you see what I mean. We're not going to shoulders at the moment. You're just feeling the movement through your arm into your upper chest, into your collarbone, and then start sliding your left arm forwards a little bit and back a little bit. And what feels like, and you're moving your arm over your left arm, you're moving over your right arm. So you're not just rotating, you're reaching forwards with that left arm. And which rotation feels like a good idea? And which rotation feels like a good idea to go backwards with your shoulder blade? So you're going forwards and backwards. It's a bit like a soaring movement, gently, and lie on your back and take a rest. Have a sense of how much of you is on the floor, your weight, the way your ribs are contacting in the back of your pelvis. Feel the shape that the back of your head makes on the floor. Roll to your side, please, and sit again with your legs crossed in that Eastern way. But change the arrangement of your legs this time. So if you had your right leg in front last time, put your left leg in front this time. Same arrangement with your arms. So put your left arm out and your right arm's supporting it. And just start doing that movement of sliding your left arm through the crook of your right elbow. And just feel, is that getting a bit easier now? Do you understand where your shoulder blade is? Can you feel the cooperation in your right upper torso, lengthening through? And leave your left arm somewhere comfortably, resting in the crook of your right elbow. And very gently now with your right hand, start touching your right shoulder. And then sliding your right hand around behind your right shoulder. Right hand behind towards your spine. And back again and straighten your arm. And then take your right hand to your left shoulder. And just sliding around there behind your left shoulder a little bit. Allowing your left arm to travel through that crook a bit. So your left arm is straight without being rigid. It's just out there. As you're reaching around with your right hand, where can you touch your head? The back of your head, the top of your head, your forehead. Rustle up your hair, those who have it. Gently. Just feel that there's a possibility there of finding that place around your face. Your left arm is resting straight with your palm up and continue. How far behind you can you go? Is that a possibility? Is it not a possibility? Are you able to breathe while you do this? And lie on your back and take a rest. Check in with your contact on the floor, your width and your length, and the shapes you're making. Please roll to your side and sit. Put your left arm long inside the crook of your right elbow. And bend your right elbow so that your fingertips are towards the ceiling. I don't mean in any rigid way, but just softly. And very gently now, start sliding your straightish left arm through the crook and back again. And turning it around itself as you slide. So in one direction as you go forwards, and in the opposite direction when you go back. Okay. Gently sliding forwards. Try to get the forwards and backwards motion, and it's not at your elbow. Your left elbow is straightish but not rigid, but this movement is coming from your shoulder blade, from your shoulder girdle, in fact. Your collarbone, your clavicle has got some activity, your upper ribs, your breathing. Rest for a moment in sitting. Arrange your arms in a similar way. So your left arm is straight without being rigid through the crook of your right elbow. Your right fingers are towards the ceiling. This time, change the rotation. So if you are rotating in one direction as you are going forwards, change it to the rotation that you were using when you were going backwards. Feel your breathing. Soften your jaw, soften your eyes. But find this connection with your arm through your torso. And lie on your back and take a rest. Feel your contact around your left shoulder blade, your left ribs, the way your left arm lies on the floor. Sense your face, right and left, and the back of your head on the floor. Please roll to your side and sit again. Change the arrangement of your legs again. Put your left arm again through your right crook. Just do a couple of slides through and feel how that's coming along. And then very gently start to touch your left shoulder with your left hand and your right shoulder with your left hand. And just move your hand as you go to one shoulder and then the other. Move your hand a little bit behind you towards your spine. And just feel how that's coming along. If there's a bit more clarity there, gently, softly. Maybe you can go up your neck a little bit towards the back of your head. What do you need to do? How can you move to enable that? Just exploring the back of you with your left hand. Gently, quietly. Around the side of your neck, at the back of your neck. And stop that for a moment. And please stand. Feel your weight through your feet. If you can discern a difference. And slowly now take one arm up above your head and sense the quality of that. And then your other. The weight, the quality of the lifting. And then take both arms together maybe and feel, is there a difference? Gently, just let them float. Don't try too hard. Just gently. Okay, and lie on your back and have a rest. Slowly roll to your side and sit, please. Arrange your legs comfortably. Put your right arm out in front with your right palm towards the ceiling. And rest that arm in the crook of your left elbow. And very gently now with your right hand, just try touching your right shoulder. Your left shoulder. And how is this feeling in this configuration? Are your elbows sitting on top of each other? Or is this a struggle to do? Just find a way breathing. And maybe you can go a little bit behind your shoulder with your right hand, keeping that relationship of your elbows. Your right elbow sitting in your left crook of your left elbow crook, gently. Feel that your breathing's easy. Maybe you can go over your head and around your face. And rest for a moment in sitting. Again, rest your right arm in your left crook, left elbow. Have your right arm straightish and start moving it forwards and through that. Just move it, turn it conveniently, feeling which rotation in your arm makes sense to you. Find that shoulder blade and its potential. Find your clavicle and its potential. Feel that your upper ribs are involved. The side of you can be involved. Make it simple. Change your rotation. It is your right arm that's doing the moving. Forwards and back through the crook. Your jaw is soft, your eyes are soft. Lie on your back and have a rest. Feel the shapes that the back of your ribs make on the floor. And that the back of your pelvis makes on the floor. Please roll to your side and sit. Change the crossing of your legs. Put your right arm in the crook of your left elbow. And now with your left hand, take your left hand towards your right shoulder and slide it across behind your right shoulder. Can you then go sweep it across behind your neck to arrive at your left shoulder behind? So you go across your head, across the back of your head. Some of you are having a little moment of going across your chin. Just what do you need to do with your neck, with your upper thoracic spine to go from your right shoulder, behind your right shoulder, across the base of your neck, across behind your left shoulder, to the front of your left shoulder. How can you maneuver that? Just gently, gently find a way to get in touch with your neck, maybe behind, and you're sweeping from side to side behind, just quietly, exploring, sensing, breathing. Soft and light. Where else can you move to facilitate this? How's the relationship of your elbows, one to the other? So you can go back and forth a little bit behind with a soft hand. You've done bell hand, you know all about soft hand. And lie on your back and take a rest. Please roll to your side and sit. Arrange your legs comfortably. Put your right elbow inside your left. Bend your right elbow so that your fingers are towards the ceiling. And very gently now, in tiny movements, start taking that right elbow forwards and back. So you're bending your right elbow and you're taking your right elbow forwards and back. You're soaring gently. It's small movements. Your left arm is more or less still, and you're just moving your right elbow forwards and back. And of course, you're driving this from your shoulder blade, your scapula. Your clavicle has got a role to play. So is your jaw in not working. Your eyes are soft. And smiling is a great thing to do, gently. Feeling that those right ribs can move across, upper ribs. Gently. And try not to turn your right arm as you do this. So do you need to straighten your arm to turn it, or can you turn it without straightening it? You're soaring away, it's great. Breathing. and rest for a moment. Just rest in sitting. Feel the weight through your right sit bone and your left sit bone. And change your legs around. And does that change the weight through your sitting? Arrange your arms again, so your right elbow's inside your left elbow. And this time change the rotation while you saw. Other way. You're not allowed to confuse me because you're right there. Anyone else can do what they like, but not you. No. So you're rotating right through your arm and not just in your forearm. You're not doing supination, pronation. So you might have to straighten your arm a little bit particularly in one direction. But you're doing an opposite rotation. Lie on your back and have a rest. Have a sense of your width and your length in relation to the floor. Please roll to your side and sit. Arrange your right elbow in your left. And this time, keeping the arrangement of your elbows pretty constant. Start taking your right hand to your left shoulder and then behind and around, behind your neck, behind the back of your head, and sweep around and feel, is this softer, easier, or do you still need to hold your breath at certain points? So keep your breathing easy and find, can you circle around behind you, side to side, with your right hand? Breathing. How can you move your shoulder blades, your clavicles, your upper chest, your sternum? Is there something that you can do through your ribs on the side? Keeping the relationship of your elbows as constant as you can, but you know, there's a bit of flexibility in there. Not rigid. Breathing. Soft eyes. Stop that for a moment and rest in sitting. Take your right arm through again, through your left, and just have your right arm lengthened, soft and limp and not doing anything. And try taking your left hand behind your shoulders, across behind your head. So your right arm's going for a ride And your left hand is just exploring what's happening in the back of your neck, in your upper thoracic maybe, behind your shoulder blades. And stop that for a moment and just rotate your right arm a little bit, taking it forwards and back. Gently. Gently. And leave that for a moment and take your left arm around again behind you and feel, has that changed anything? So your right arm is not participating, but your left hand is going up and around, taking your right arm for a ride. And lie on your back and have a rest. Please roll to your side and sit. Put your left arm in the crook of your right arm. Changing arms. Just in case you thought I'd made a mistake. Okay, and very gently now, keeping that left arm limp, take your right hand around and behind and feel how that is. Do it methodically and easily from side to side. Feel how it is that you can go behind. And now turn your left arm in the opposite direction. So if your palm was down, put it up and continue the movement with your right hand. Gently, quietly. That left arm is limp. And lie on your back and have a rest. Checking in with the volume of your breath. How much of you is involved in your breathing? It's not an invitation to do anything special, but just to feel, how is it? Please roll to your side and sit. Change the way you're arranging your legs. Put your right arm inside your left elbow. Bending both elbows, and start taking both hands behind your shoulder, behind your back, behind your head. Okay, so try to keep your hands more or less together, not moving them in mirror image, because our constraint is the relationship of your elbows remains not exactly constant, but a possibility. So your hands are moving together. So as your hands move behind you, your elbows move together in front of you. Both hands go behind. The relationship of your hands remains constant. So some of you are separating your hands and bringing them together again. It looks very nice, but it's not what we're doing this morning for the moment. So you're taking your hands together. So if one hand is behind your right shoulder, so is the other. It's not one hand on your right shoulder and one hand on your left shoulder. Keeping your elbows inside each other. So your right elbow's inside your left. And you really find if you honor these constraints, something very different happens through your upper back and through your shoulder girdle. And rest for a moment in sitting. Put your right elbow through again, your left. And this time, try to do that movement with the back of your hands against your shoulders at the back. With the back of your hands. And you can try going towards your cheeks and your chin. So maybe not behind you so much, but more at the front of you. So you're just doing an approximation of this. And then try turning, alternating, touching first with your palms and then with the backs of your hands. As you continue to move in whatever trajectory is a possibility. And you can feel that your chest and your breathing need to organize, your neck. And lie on your back and take a rest. Maybe you can feel some movement of your upper ribs with your breath, both in front and behind, inside your shoulder blades, in your armpits, and along the sides of your torso. Please roll to your side and sit. Free choice with your legs. Put your left arm inside your right elbow, so your left elbow inside your right elbow, and start doing the similar movement as previously, which is taking your hands, your palms around your head, around your face, taking them together, keeping the arrangement of your elbows constant, softly, lightly. Feel how that is. Where can you touch? Where can't you touch? Turn your hands so the back of your hands are contacting. How does that change your ability? And alternate between taking your palms around and the backs of your hands around, honoring this idea that your hands and your elbows maintain their connection. And you can feel that your upper thoracic spine and your neck are cooperating. Maybe shifting your weight can help a little bit on your pelvis. And lie on your back and take a rest. Roll to your side, please, and sit. Put your right arm out in front, extended. And with your left hand, take hold of your right pinky. And very gently now, start bending your elbows and trying to take your right elbow through the crook of your left elbow. How do you organize to take your right elbow through the crook of your left elbow? Gently. Please just honor the idea that you've got a loose connection with your pinky. You're allowed to breathe. There's no grunting here for the moment. Maybe later, but no grunting at the moment. Keep a loose connection with that pinky and just find a way of taking your right elbow through the crook of your left. Lighten it, make it feel easy. Breathing gently. So, of course, your right hand moves backward as you keep that connection. And now take hold of your ring finger and do something similar. And then try holding the right thumb with your left hand. And feel how that is. What do you need to do there? Gently. You're taking your right elbow through the left. Now hang on to your thumb. The right thumb. Not the left thumb, the right thumb. It's a wise man who knows his right thumb. Now try holding all your fingers of your right hand with your left and taking your right elbow through the crook of your left elbow. All your fingers. How are you going to organize that? Gently. All of your fingers. Lie on your back and have a rest. Roll to your side, please, and sit. Put your left arm out straight. Take hold of your left pinky with your right hand. And start taking your left elbow through the crook of your right elbow. And just feel how that is. Piece of cake. Now go to your ring finger. And just feel that your left elbow can go through your right crook. You're breathing, your jaw's loose, your tongue soft in your mouth, and your eyes are soft. And then try taking hold of all of your fingers. Oh, I left out the thumb. I'm glad you're here to keep me honest. Okay, so do try your thumb first before all your fingers. Then try your middle finger. And then take hold of all your fingers so that your left fingers will be in the palm of your right hand. Your wrist turns back as you take your left elbow through the crook of your right. And rest for a moment in sitting. Just stop that for a moment. And do you remember what we did at first? Put your left arm out in front. Oh no, it's actually your right, wasn't it? Your right arm in front. Rest your left arm over, and just feel now, just play with that soaring movement and turning your arm, and just feel what's happened through your shoulders, what's happened in your upper ribs, in your chest. Change arms. And leave that alone. And please stand. And just attend to, for a moment, with your breathing. The way your arms are hanging. Where your shoulder blades are sitting on your back. How wide you feel across your upper chest. Where your weight is through your feet. How long is the back of your neck and your upper spine, your upper thoracic? Take your arms above your head and just feel quality, whatever quality means to you. Lightness, softness, ease, connection with your torso and your feet, just whatever it is. And go for a walk and feel how that has maybe helped you lift your legs. You okay?